Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City media podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Now, let's get to the show.
What up, fam? Episode 95 is live as Kenny blows a vape cloud in your faces.
I got made fun of on the show comments last week, and I don't appreciate it.
What for?
What for?
Oh, sorry. Because I claim I don't drink sugar drinks, but the guy saw me with 3 different vapes in 10 minutes. I was like, yeah, that's makes sense.
Whoa. Holy mackerel. TJ, tell the ladies and gentlemen what we are drinking this evening. It is sour.
Yeah, so I didn't realize it was going to be a sour until it was a little late, but this is Desert Dawn by Crosstown. It is a prickly pear and lime sour.
Lime. Whoa.
That's what it said. Oh, man, my camera's about to fall off.
Whoa.
Fix yourself. Fix. Whatever. I'm just going to have to be blurry.
Oh, no.
It's going to fix in a second.
It's out of focus. I think it's because it thinks you're the same color as the wall.
Yes, that's probably why.
You look like a damn.
You didn't like me moving it.
There you go.
You look like a damn manila folder, bro.
I know.
Where are you right now, TJ? You're not at your normal abode.
Manila TJ.
Yeah, I'm at the beach, and everything in here is yellowy looking. It's all off-white. Everything is an off-white. I think the whole place is off-white.
Is it
So
what beach? What beach are you at again?
Santa Rosa. Was this technically Santa Rosa or Blue Mountain?
Yes.
I think it's Blue Mountain Beach is technically the name of it, but it's in Santa Rosa.
He's literally staying 0.2 of a mile from where we usually stay.
Yeah.
Blue Mountain.
Good spot down there after the hurricane.
How's it looking down there?
Looks to be beautiful.
Yeah, the weather has been incredible the entire time. No rain, no nothing. Knock on wood.
So what kind of beach wear are we going with this week? Are you going board shorts, short shorts, your thong, what are you doing? What are you going with?
Standard 8-inch inseam Columbia trunks and a Tiger baseball jersey today, actually.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Good choice, I know.
Baby blue baseball kit, huh?
You know it. That's the one. The best one.
Oh, this Desert Dawn is it's like a bottle of Warheads.
Wouldn't have thought it was going to be a sour.
Speaking of weather, gentlemen, bit of a dreary game on Saturday, both weather-wise and performance-wise. It was drizzling out of the sky and on the scoreboard, because in a game when you really needed to pour it on, the Tigers came out in a bit of a drizzle. They just kind of sprinkled on MTSU. Never really felt like the game was ever in question, but it just wasn't pretty.
There was nothing enjoyable about that game.
I don't know. I think walking away with the win's pretty enjoyable.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not true. There were 2 standout enjoyable moments. One, Kobe Minor's sack forced fumble, because from our seats, it looked like the MTSU quarterback may have lost his head.
Yeah, he died.
The second was the Brendan Thomas 20-something yard rush where he got lit up 3 or 4 times that would have knocked any other human being off their feet, and he just kept running. And then when he actually got tackled, he did a full forward front flip, and I rewatch it. He almost landed on his feet and kept going. And if that had happened, I would have never watched football again.
What is this Brandon Thomas resurgence? What is going on? I love it. So much.
At a time when you need it most, too. Running back room's so thin. You need it. BT is coming out party. That run was absolutely insane.
It's nice to see him in spurts other than just like goal line or short
Yes.
line stuff, right? So you can see that he still has it, right? And he may have been capable of this the entire time, and we've just never known it because of the bevy of running backs that we've had. So we've just been so reliant on him just to get the 2 or 3 yards needed at the time. So
Yeah. But to Kenny's point, outside of that, it really was a weird game. I saw some people tweeting about it, Xing about it. The whole vibe around the day, like, one, I'll give it this. It was a much better crowd than I was anticipating,
Yes.
which is a little bit frustrating too, because if you'd beaten Navy, then I think it would have been a really good crowd.
yeah,
But given you're coming off that Navy loss, given it was a dreary day, I mean, it rained for not hard, but there were, I don't know, at least half the game probably. You were getting a little bit wet. I think Kids Day helped though. It felt like there were a lot of families there.
yeah, for sure.
But it did. I saw somebody tweet this that was like, everybody was at the game, but nobody was watching it kind of feel. And that is kind of what it felt like. Like they're just, I don't know. It was just, there was just no action. Outside of those 2 plays, I just feel like I don't remember another play out of that game. That's not true. Jamari Hawkins almost took a kickoff back. I remember that one.
You know,
TJ,
I think
puzzled.
no, I think a lot of people were expecting this huge blowout. Just looking at MTSU and other games, like I don't remember the Ole Miss score, but they got what was it? I just saw it a second ago. 52 to 3.
52 to 3.
Yeah, 52 to 3.
I feel like that's what you needed coming off a disappointment with Navy, is you needed to come out in a very underwhelming 1-3 MTSU team, and you needed to like blow them out to make people feel better about it. And the reality is we came out and we scored fewer points on them than freaking Tennessee Tech did.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that.
They've given up all year.
Yeah, but it's also, what was the game plan? Was the game plan just to run the clock and to, do what you can to crush the clock and just try to get out of there unscathed?
If that's the game
lose
plan,
as little people as possible.
If that's the game plan, they need to stop with that. We need to see.
They won.
I understand that, but that does not help. Games like that don't help at the end of the year if the Tigers continue to win, which they're favored to win every game except for the Tulane game. You need blowouts to set yourself apart in the playoff topic or conversation.
Sure. You need other teams to drop games too. So there's a couple of things that probably all kind of play into it, but
I just think you need to see this offense go bananas, and you haven't seen it except for the Navy game. You haven't seen it,
right?
all year.
And the problem with that was the defense playing so poorly was the storyline, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the offense had done what they did last week against Navy, you come out with a win and it was a 2 or 3 score win, then the offense, nobody's talking about concerns with the offense. But it's like how poorly the defense played kind of overshadowed what the offense did do last week. And it just feels like, I mean, you ran the ball well. You had almost 200 yards on the ground.
That's a good
you
development.
You stop the run well. I think that's one thing that a lot of people are quick to, oh, well, we only scored 24 points. But, the defense played pretty damn well. You only allowed 7 points. I mean, yes, Kelly went crazy, but we talked about that going into this game. Like, he was going to go crazy. He's gone crazy pretty much every game for the most part, right? So we kind of talked about that. We knew that was going to happen. I mean, that's a former Auburn player, so the skill is there. But, defense, I think all in all played pretty well. I mean, they held him to 29 rushing yards. Like,
yeah.
Was there a part of you at the beginning of the second half that was concerned, though? Because you said last week, TJ, you talked about that Navy has given the game plan to how to defeat the Tigers defense. And it felt like MTSU started to, in that first drive in the second half, implemented some of those counters, right? Those kind of like kind of weird counters with the running back, and they got a lot of yards in that. I was like, oh my gosh, they're doing it. Like, can the Tigers stop this? But they did. I mean, ultimately they did. They played well, but
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they know that you can beat the Tigers if they're not going to be disciplined. They're not going to stay at home. You know that you can run things like that, and it's going to get them on their heels, and you're going to be able to make big plays out of it, right? We saw Navy do it. Obviously, to your point, we saw MTSU do it, and I guarantee when we go down to Tampa, we're going to see Tampa. We're going to see whoever if it's going to be the backup quarterback or the starter, I don't know, but I assume it'll be a similar situation there, right?
Yeah, did Brown come back in their game? I would assume that he's playing since it's 2 weeks from now.
Well, I think we need to know how severe the injury is, right?
Yeah, I didn't see what happened. We just got texted that he was out. But obviously, other thing of note, for the first time in his collegiate career, Seth, with a no tutty performance, ends the streak at 41, tied for second longest streak overall in collegiate football history with Marcus Mariota.
I mean, obviously wish that
Seems
would
like
have
good
stayed.
company.
Yeah, obviously wish that would have kept going, but it's a pretty impressive stat. 41 straight games with a touchdown is damn impressive.
I would say so, yeah.
Damn impressive. It does suck a little bit that it came against such a bad MTSU team. But obviously they've talked about it. I don't think Seth really cared. It sounded like most of the team didn't even know about it anyway.
You believe that? You believe he didn't know?
I think Seth probably knew about it, but
I think he definitely knew.
I think it was Jonah Gamble maybe that was on the post game, and they mentioned it to him, and he was like, "Damn, really? I didn't even know that. That sucks. Now I wish we'd have gotten him one."
Well, if Jonah said that, I believe Jonah because that man got no filter like whatsoever.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know that it was something that the entire team was aware of or knew about. And I believe Seth and Ryan when they say that Seth probably doesn't really care about it. Like, he even said, I think in the post game that he had the opportunity on an RPO to get a touchdown pass and instead handed it off to Brandon Thomas. Right. So like, anyway, would have been cool to see him go for the number 1 overall spot, which I think is what, 46 games or 47 or something. But like TJ said, a win's a win. It never really felt like it was in question. I think a lot of people got nervous coming out of half when MTSU marched down on that scripted out of half drive and made it 14-7. But guys, I don't know what the heck's going on with my throat. But I never was concerned.
Do you have a Lyme allergy? Do you have a Lyme allergy like TJ has?
I may have an allergy that we don't know about. I have the most obnoxious tickle in my throat right now. It's absurd. Need a throat lozenge,
dude.
Oh, it's not a prickly pear. It's a tickly pear.
Jokes write themselves.
But like TJ said, it's a win. A win's a win. It was a convincing win. Running 73 plays, 415 yards of offense, 200 yards on the ground. Basically, I really wish we had put up like 41. And you're talking about you had a missed field goal. You had a muffed punt, which would have given you the ball in plus territory. So like 6-10 points there that's left on the field too. So
what's going on? What's happening? Let's just TJ, just stay quiet.
What?
Goodness gracious.
Some damn good podcasting right there.
I don't know what to do. It won't go away. All right. Final thoughts on MTSU. We got a bye week. I think a much needed. Seth says it's the most healthy he's ever been in his 4 years going into a bye week, which is, I guess, a good thing.
Yeah, I asked Ryan today about the overall health of the team, and he doesn't seem to be too concerned outside of the obvious injuries that happened with Sutton. You know, that's obvious, but says the team's pretty healthy going into the bye week, which is good. Like
Yeah, I
obviously,
know
go ahead.
Davion Ross left the game, but
He's
I think he
fine.
said today it's fine. It's
Yeah,
not a big deal. They're not expecting him to miss any time. Elijah Herring was back on Saturday, which was good to see. I think led the team in tackles, was AAC honor roll player, which also makes you think a little bit like, would that Navy game maybe have been a little bit different having him out there? I feel like he's your best,
Oh, it would have definitely been different.
one of your
Yes.
best tacklers. So good to see him back out there. But yeah, it sounds like outside of Sutton and Greg and those couple that are longer term injuries, they're relatively healthy going into a bye, which is nice.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you mentioned the injuries, and I'm curious how this plays out with. I guess you do have the bye week, but Brandon, did he get a concussion? Did they confirm that? Like,
Well, he
where are we
came
at
back
with
in,
him
didn't
going
he, after
forward?
that happened?
He did. He came back in.
Yeah, so I think he's fine. But yeah, it was for a minute. I was like, because I mean, is he at the point where it's like one more and he's done? Maybe.
You always
Well,
get
he's got
scared with
one more
Brandon
for.
about that, right? Like it's been that way for 2 years with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you always get scared every time he takes a hard hit. Like that run you were talking about, I was like,
I
oh
yeah,
shit,
that's
yeah.
3
It's
times that could have been a freaking concussion level hit.
when he got up, I was like, oh, thank God. Like I thought for sure,
Yeah.
he was gonna have to come out of the game after
Yeah.
that hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even he's healthy. I think that's a good thing. Get a couple extra days of rest and then get down to Tampa for next or a week, 2 weeks from Friday. No, a week from this Friday.
Are you guys as concerned about Tampa or about South Florida as you were at the beginning of the year? They got crushed by Tulane this last week.
I'm going to say yes. If Brown's playing, right? And he is a mobile quarterback. Anytime you have a mobile quarterback, I think that adds a different dimension that you're normally not used to facing, right? You think of Horvath. I mean, it's the fastest dude in the world, apparently. So,
Yeah.
and even with a faster defense and all around better defense this year than we've had ever before. Well, maybe not ever before, but in recent years past, this defense does feel better. But we've seen them struggle with mobile quarterbacks. And, if Brown is back, it looked like it was probably an ankle injury in that game. So maybe he's going to be slowed or maybe not as mobile as normal. So maybe that's a good thing. But yeah, if he's back, I define it as scared, right? I mean, I don't think that they are the team everyone thought they were going to be. I think they were even receiving first place votes, weren't they, at one point?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, I
don't think
wouldn't
they're that team anymore.
I wouldn't say scared. It worries me for 2 reasons, what TJ just said, Brown being mobile. So we'll see what his health status is going into the week.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, after that Tulane game, they don't look as threatening as previous, but I'll say the fact that it's still a road game worries me. Every time we play on the road, I get concerned. Because I mean, you look at last year, like at Charlotte, a game that should have been an easy win goes to overtime. Like just stuff like that. I
Yeah.
feel like we don't typically come out and have a very comfortable road win. So I think for that reason, it's still giving me a little bit of uneasiness about it.
I'm trying to find any update from Golish on Brown today.
It just seems like it was an ankle injury. That's the only thing I've ever seen is that he was in the sidelines in a boot.
Well, it looked like he was injured in the Miami game and then practiced all week with the starters, started against Tulane, and then got injured again. So let me see. Hold on.
What point of the game was it?
I
didn't watch a whole lot of that game, but
neither did I.
Yeah.
Third quarter.
Okay.
Third quarter. Oh, so they have a bye too.
Yeah,
this week.
we both have.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. There's been no update on his status, which
I would be surprised if there's an update. They probably want us guessing what's going on.
Yeah, I would suspect.
Yeah.
So we'll monitor it. We'll see. Maybe something will be by this time next week. We'll have a better indication of whether he is a full go or not. Maybe some kind of game time decision type of thing. But
He clearly changes the game though for USF if he's out there. Just his mobility
yeah.
and his speed changes the game. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
yeah.
Are they
if he's not
favored? Has the line come out yet for that game?
I don't think it's out yet. I don't think it'll be out till next Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems way too early for that.
But I would be surprised if they were favored. Honestly.
You would be surprised if they were favored?
Yeah.
I would have expected them to be favored.
Let me see.
I just feel like it would be like us by a touchdown or something. I mean, by a field goal.
Oh, you're talking about Memphis being. I thought you were saying that USF would be favored.
No, I'm saying I would be surprised if USF was favored.
Got you.
Yeah, and I think USF will be favored by a touchdown.
By a touchdown?
Yeah.
Wow. Goodness gracious.
If Brown's playing?
Yeah, I don't know. All right, well. Maybe. We'll see. That leads us into our next point is an update on where we're at FPI playoff odds.
Probably not
Which-
good.
No. Last week we were second behind Tulane. Where do you think we are currently?
Third behind Tulane and Army or Navy.
Nope.
Fourth?
We did not move. We are still second. We did not move ranking, period. We stayed flatline, no up or down movement. Still second overall in FPI in the American. Record slightly changed. I think they had us at 10-2 last week. Now it's 9-3 slightly. Playoff percentage has taken quite the tumble, though. I think last week we were still as the playoff favorite. We are now fourth in the American, according to FPI, for playoff chances at 3.2%. Behind Army at 9.2, Tulane at 6.4, and Navy at 4.3%.
Navy.
So that means
Navy.
you're behind UNLV and Boise as well.
Oh, you're I'm sure we're behind quite a bit. We're behind Liberty. We are behind James Madison.
Every undefeated.
Who's at 30%. We are behind
Yeah, it's gonna be anyone that's undefeated, right?
Boise at
Anyone that's
37%, UNLV at 31%. Yeah, we're behind quite a few. Any MAC teams we're behind? We're not behind anybody in the MAC.
It's disrespectful.
ESPN has that matchup predictor that they do. They
Yeah.
have the Tigers at a 70% favorite to win the game against South Florida.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say with FPI. Just rankings overall, we're sitting at 64th. FPI's got South Florida at 92. Projected to go 6-6.
Well, it helps that Boise and UNLV will play each other. I don't think James Madison plays anyone.
You don't know what their remaining
That-
schedule is. I was really
Be higher than us.
wanting a Boise loss to Washington State this week, but obviously did not get that.
We all-
So no help there. But yeah, I don't know who James Madison has remaining.
James Madison has UL Monroe, Coastal, Georgia Southern, Southern Miss, Georgia State, Old Dominion, App State, and
App
Marshall. So they
State.
could actually pick up
Yeah.
a loss or two in there. The issue is you need Liberty.
I mean, how did they beat Gardner Webb 13-6 and then put up 70 on North Carolina?
It's the North Carolina game, yeah.
I mean, what in the world?
Navy's going to drop one. I mean, they have Notre Dame, South Tulane, Army. Well, I guess Army won't count, but they've got some games they could drop.
I think it's Army you got to worry about, to be honest.
Well,
They
it'd be too
literally
late.
don't play anybody. Talk about the freaking conference coming out and saying the women's basketball schedule was being redone due to what did they say?
Competitive disadvantages.
Competitive disadvantage.
I mean, this is Army's schedule. FAU, Rice, Temple, Tulsa, UAB, East Carolina, North Texas, UTSA. That's their conference schedule.
Well,
I mean, maybe
they also
they could.
they're
Carolina
going to
has
drop
more
one to Notre Dame.
Actually, they could lose to East
Probably.
Carolina or North Texas. Yeah, but I don't I don't think them losing to Notre Dame is going to hurt them if they win the conference.
Well,
If
you
they're
just
11 and
you just
1
need
and
them
win
to
the
lose in
American.
general. That's all I need.
I mean, yeah, I need them to lose a conference game or two so that at this point we could win out and still not make the conference championship.
Yeah.
Which would be ridiculous to be 11 and 1 and not make the conference title. So we need Army and Navy to both at least lose one, I would say. And then I don't know how the tiebreaker ends up working anymore. I think it's highest ranked, or I don't know.
Yeah,
overall
it'll be
record.
highest ranked.
But that that Army American Conference schedule is an absolute joke. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. The fact that they don't play South Florida, us, Tulane is ridiculous.
Speaking of, I know this is not a topic we discussed prior, but could you guys imagine covering a team where Trent Dilfer is your head coach? Being a fan of a team where Trent Dilfer is your head coach? Is he not insufferable?
I'm not sure that I could continue to be a fan of the team if Trent were my head coach, to be honest with you.
He just isn't.
Or Bill Clark and all that he built up there in Birmingham has just been thrown out the window. You know what I remembered the other day? Had totally forgotten about the fact that UAB was not a football program for 2 whole years. That was absurd.
2017, right, is when they came back, right?
Yeah, I think it was 2015, 2016. They didn't play football. Yeah. How wild is that?
Anyway. I remember that when that was going down.
Yeah, I remember wild. the Twitter video that came out of them like telling them that the football program was being cut. Wild stuff.
Which is crazy because there's money in Birmingham, right?
Yes.
Like Mountain Home. No, that's Arkansas. Mountain View.
Mountain Brook.
Yeah, like that area is super nice. Like they have money there.
Mountain Home.
Without a doubt. I guess it's just none of those people are.
They're all Alabama fans.
Yeah.
No one's cycling it back through.
Alabama, Auburn.
He got called in a press conference today. He got called out for those comments that he made post game where like, this isn't freaking Alabama press conference. And then he said, he looked at the guy and the guy was asking him like, what do you have to say to fans that were offended by that? And his response was, were you there? Of course not. There's my answer. There's only 2 of us. There's only 2 of y'all in the room during that time. This isn't Alabama. I was like, Jesus, bro.
Yeah, I don't know why that was made out to be such a big deal because like they're not Alabama. Like they're going to be held to a different standard.
Yes.
And he could have said Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, USC, Texas. So you could say a number of schools, right? It's just a different standard. It just is, right?
It was just the level. It was the arrogant. It was the dismissive tone. I think that was just like, hey, bro, chill out. Like, these guys are working their tails off to cover your team, and your team sucks. Like they're terrible. Like, show some gratitude. The fact that 2 guys are even in the room. Y'all are terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just like, and then to like double down on it.
Yeah, I didn't understand his response today, whether that guy was there or not. It had nothing to do with what the guy was asking. It didn't.
The guy came back and said, I'm here now. I was like, yep.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't make any sense, but whatever.
Yep.
That's enough with Trent. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we got basketball tidbits. We got pack comments. We got fade. Maybe ride TJ now.
Definitely ride TJ.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
what? Okay, bro. I'm gonna tell you what it's become. What seems like a daily practice, and that is waking up to some ridiculous article of somebody predicting where the Grizzlies is going to be. And I'm a pretty confident dude when it comes down to the Grizzlies, man. Like, because I'm the guy who was saying that when Ja came back, we are making the playoffs, right? I was like, we're going to make the playoffs. We're going to win 6 out of 10 games. We're going to go on a 60% win streak, and we're going to get into the play-in. This is the one that killed me, Mark Stein, who I know knows.
Yeah,
that.
I know you.
One of the true OGs. Man had us 12th in the West.
Yep.
And people were on his ass so bad, he came back and said, damn, y'all might be right. I'm probably wrong about this.
Dang,
I never seen that man ever do that. You know, I'm the main person, man, who will come in here and say, y'all overvaluing Taylor Jenkins, right? Like, y'all really act like this dude is untrained.
Right, 17th.
Bro, I almost
That's
lost
cool.
my shit when I saw that. Like, not my Taylor, not my Tay-Tay. Like, what are y'all talking about?
I thought that was what
Not my coach, TJ.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Tier 6, middle of the road. Number 18, Jason Kidd of the Mavericks. 17, Taylor Jenkins of the Grizzlies. 16, Quinn Snyder of the Hawks. And 15, Michael Malone of the Nuggets.
How was Quinn Snyder in with those other 3 people?
I don't know. That's a good question.
How did that come about? You're talking about 3 coaches whose teams were number 1 in their conference at some point in time, whose teams went deep into the playoffs, and then you have the Hawks.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
We back.
Dirty.
We turned down the Pac 2, 7, whatever they are, last Monday, and then Thursday. It was Thursday, right? That
Folks
Dr.
calling
Edward-
for Ed Scott's job, calling him a fraud, a clown.
It's wild because my guy's been here for like 36 hours.
God. They wanted to fire Ed Scott.
But he addressed the situation, spoke with media on, was that Thursday, Kenneth?
I think so. I was out of town when it happened, so I think it might have been, but yes.
But it was 25 minutes, basically laid it all out there. And so, I mean, a lot of details and what he talked about were already, a lot of people they'd already kind of made their way out. So I feel like there were a lot of people very upset by it and frustrated, wanted him to make some kind of statement. TJ and I were the ones that I feel like were on the side, like, hey, we know the details that made sense. We know why we said no. But after hearing from Dr. Scott, a lot of people are kind of like, all right, I get it. It makes sense. We've talked about this before. The dude is an elite communicator.
High quality.
I mean, my guy is selling ice to Eskimos easily.
Yeah. It's so weird too, because I feel like even before it came out that when he explained why we didn't do the deal, given what you had on the table as fans, it was a bad deal. And that was the same thing I was screaming the entire time. It was a bad deal. Don't do it. Like, I understand going to a new conference, and like TJ the fan would love to go to a new conference because it's fun, it's fresh, it's nice. But it didn't make sense. It was a bad business deal. And then he came out and told you, and now people are like, oh, you know what?
Bad deal.
Like,
yeah.
You had the
I think
what do you mean?
I think what was encouraging to everybody was that it seemed clear that Ed Scott, the AD, wants to get to a new conference as well. Like, I think that was the big question, right? Like people were throwing out his contract, like stipulations in his contract about a bonus, bonus shit. Like, I'm like, guys, relax. Like, and so I think the fact that he came out and spoke on it and reiterated his desire to, I'm talking to everybody. I'm not leaving any of this to chance. Like, I am talking to everybody. That, I think, alleviated some of the weird reaction that we saw from fans of like, crap, Ed Scott wants to stay in the American. What?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Well, I think it's an overreact. Like, the other part of this that I think was helping me was I know that this isn't over, right? Like,
Yeah.
one, putting a graphic out with a flag in Memphis with the other American schools on it that says
Means-
committed literally means nothing.
Literally means nothing.
This isn't over. We're in constant communication with
Everybody,
sure
even the Pac-12.
others,
Yeah.
right. Other conferences. He basically said that Thursday, like, we are open for business, and if you come with a better deal,
We'll talk.
chances are we'll talk about it and
Yeah.
could make something work.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter, and I know that people say the buyout's negotiable, but still, the fact of the matter is they're paying upwards of 20 to 30 million per Mountain West team, and they offered you $2.5 million towards a $25 million buyout.
Well, the buyout may be negotiable.
It may be. It was negotiable 2 years ago.
Right. I think history tells you that it is.
With the different leadership.
Obviously, right. You have a different commissioner, but it's also like, I mean, come on.
I'm not going to assume anything. I think if you leave, he has no reason to do you any favors. Personally, I wouldn't.
I mean, yeah, I don't.
Full price.
Do you know
why would he cut that out? Right? Why would he? Like, you're one of my top teams. Why would I give you a break for you to go leave elsewhere? I want that full money because that's money I can lure. I can pay USF to stay. I could pay that to Tulane to stay. Right? We're seeing the Mountain West essentially do the same thing right now. So I don't think,
which is
he
hilarious,
has any reason to give you.
I don't think people understanding where the Mountain West is getting that money from. They think they just have, like, conferences just have these massive amounts of money. They're like, what's the American giving to us? I'm like, well, the Mountain West is only giving a fat bonus to UNLV and Air Force because they're getting money from the other teams that have left. Like,
yeah, right.
That's not just coming out of nowhere. The other part that, and he didn't say the teams, but I think it's obvious who the two teams were. That makes this an absolutely, like, laughable deal. Holy shit, what a catch. If you're not, you're not watching it because it's currently Wednesday if you're watching this, but the Lions just had a disgusting pick in the end zone. What? Did he not catch it?
Oh.
I don't know if he maintained it, but go ahead.
I don't know. He had his hand underneath the ball.
The fact that
it's
he got
pretty
up
sick.
there
I don't
like
know. That right there. We're not.
Oh, his hand's under it. That's
the same spot.
It doesn't ever touch the ground.
I don't know what a catch is anymore.
Kobe Drake's 2-point conversion was called off.
Ridiculous.
Virginia Tech's win was. I mean, there's a number of
ridiculous.
Joey caught it. We can do this all day.
I think the worst part of the entire deal was the fact that I'm assuming that it was Washington State and Oregon State want to keep all of the college football playoff revenue shares. Why did Boise and them agree to that?
No way, dude. No way.
Just want a seat at the table.
That is insanity. I mean, how ridiculous is that? Legitimately, like, say in 2 years out of the pack, Boise represents the conference in the college football playoff, but Washington State and Oregon State get all the money for it. Like, what are we talking about?
What is going on?
The fact that they put that on paper in writing and were like, yeah, this is our offer. I don't know how you even take yourself serious.
No. What is, let me ask you this, just to put this into perspective. TJ and Trey, how many cars have y'all bought in y'all's lifetime?
2. TJ's on like 11.
11?
That's not true. Bought one this week though.
Yeah, TJ just did this.
We just bought
Thursday.
one. We just bought one 2 weeks ago or 3
You
weeks
got
ago.
rid of the Equinox?
Yeah, we got that new Palisade, baby.
Stop.
That's what we got.
Yeah, bro.
100%.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Did you guys do a 2-for-1?
We did. Yeah.
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 What color did you get?
Silver.
Y'all literally both just bought Palisade.
Ours is gray.
How awesome is the Palisade though? It's freaking awesome.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. Anyway, so how many houses have y'all bought? How many houses have y'all bought?
1.
1, 2. Okay, so 3 houses between the two of y'all. 74 cars between the two of y'all. according to TJ's math. What is when you're negotiating something? What is the single greatest piece of power that a potential buyer has in negotiation when you're negotiating big time purchases, like a car or a house or whatever? When you have the ability to say no and walk away, it changes the game. The power goes away for the purchaser. The power is there.
You
The
know,
ability to say no.
you never walk into the dealership for the first time and walk out with an agreement.
100%. You
You
walk
always
away.
you walk away one time, at least one time.
So why in the hell is this a different situation? They said
It's
no.
not.
They don't have to. We don't need to take this trash deal.
Yeah.
We're saying no. And it seemed clear to me that Ed Scott was saying to the Pac-12 in that media availability, Pac-12, we said no, but that doesn't mean no. Come back with a better deal.
I mean, he essentially said, we said no to your deal. We didn't say no to
you
anything in the future or a different deal or any deal, just the particular deal that you provided on Monday and gave us 4 hours to give you an answer.
Where we literally have to pay $25 million to leave. And we don't get to keep any college football playoff money. We don't get to.
Well, they also
get out of here.
The fact that the Pac was only willing to pay $2 million of the buyout is absurd to me. Like absolutely absurd. Because we know how much is in that war chest. But
wild.
Do that thing, man.
You walk away.
If you're bum ass.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, yeah, he left it open. I mean, it sounds like
TJ, what'd you say in the private chat? I can't read it. What'd you say?
I'm not saying that out loud. Trey's mom listens to the podcast.
Sorry, Trey's mom. I apologize.
I don't know what y'all are talking about. Oh, the private chat. TJ said that we gave the Pac just the tip.
Sorry, Trey's mom. I apologize.
That came out of your son's mouth, not me, Betty. Okay.
I don't know that she even
was his
knows
mouth.
what that even means.
Oh,
she does.
She knows.
I bet she does.
Well, I'll say this: based on the $2.5 million, the Pac is awful tippers.
Thank you.
Yes.
No tax on tip, baby.
So we'll see. It's not over. The Pac could come back with another offer. We've been in talks with the Big 12 and the ACC in recent weeks.
Do they have 8 teams yet?
Some pretty notable. No, they do not. They are still sitting at 7. Both the Mountain West and the Pac are currently, come 2026, not even conferences anyway. So
why don't they just do this?
Because they don't want to do that.
They tried that. And
nobody inside either one of those wants to merge together. It's everybody on the outside is telling them to do it. They don't want to do it.
Okay.
The Pac's about to, or the Mountain West the Pac's about to add Sacramento State.
Tennessee Tech. What are you talking about? Jeez. They're gonna get that $15 million a year television deal with Tennessee, adding Tennessee Tech, Utah State.
They had concepts of a plan of a media deal.
Yeah, they did. Like let's be real. They don't even have a media deal. And they wanted Memphis to take this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the problem there is what
saying for 2 weeks
saying.
now.
It's a vicious cycle because they're not going to get a deal without the teams they want. And they're not going to get the teams they want without a deal.
So they're stuck.
It's a catch-22. You have to get teams to blindly trust you on a number given to you by a marketing firm
that was hired by the Pac-12.
That
was hired by the Pac-12, where I found out that they used the market shares or whatever they are of the schools that were previously a part of the Pac-12 that are no longer even there. That's where they got that $10 to $15 million number that they projected. 100%.
There's no way that's right.
No.
100%.
No,
that's what I was told. I might be wrong, but I was told they used this marketing.
So they're coming back and like, hey, here's the media deal that we could have had
with Stanford, with all
Cal,
Cal,
Arizona
State.
Way.
That's what
No.
That's what I was told the day that Memphis came out and said I was on. Me and you were at the golf course, and I got a text from somebody saying this potential $10 to $15 million television rights deal was done by a firm hired by the Pac-12, and they used the same metric. They used the metrics of the conference before those teams left. The team, and they're not even there anymore. Those teams aren't even there. They got that $10 to $15 million estimate.
You want to know
from
what's
that.
wild about all of that? Is that, and I think I talked about this last time, is that ESPN offered them like 30 some odd million. And then Pat came back and said, no, we want 50. And ESPN was like, all right, bye.
Bye.
And then now they have nothing.
Now they have 10
They
to
can't
15
get
million.
20.
They can't get 20.
They're not going to get 10 to 15 million.
They're going Apple TV. Apple TV's like, yeah, we'll give you 7 or 8. Like what?
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Okay, I like Apple TV.
What is on Apple TV? The MLS? There's something that's on Apple TV. I think it is the MLS.
Yeah, it's MLS. And Ted Lasso.
Did you guys see that they're coming? It's coming
New
back.
season, baby. Yeah, man.
Yeah, another one.
It's so sweet.
Is it third season? Is that right?
No, it's fourth.
Yeah.
Fourth, right? I was doing the math. I was like, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. We'll see. Realignment's alive and well. Fellas, our full basketball schedule dropped, and it's conference-wise
Thank God for the non-conference.
literally disgusting.
I just love it that the Tigers went from playing Houston on the last day of the season to playing South Florida.
And it's on a Friday.
Dude, how
That's
awesome!
not even the AAC plays a freaking Thursday Sunday split. Why are we playing the last game of the year on a Friday? It's going to be a Friday at 4:00 or something. I mean, what the heck is
It's got to
that?
get weird, dude.
Those Sunday final game of the year against Houston on national TV were so fantastic, and now we got South Florida on a Friday.
Goodness, it does.
Yeah, but who else would you want it to be in conference?
I mean, I don't just give us a Florida Atlantic again, or a UA. I would take a UAB on the last day.
Why? You just want the shittiest teams in the
It's also
conference?
so dumb. We only have Tulane once. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
There is no
I
replacement
think
for that.
It's
Houston
It should have been UAB. UAB is going to be. It's going to be us and UAB as the preseason favorites. Like it should have been us playing UAB the last game of the year. That's what they've tried to do with us in Houston is make that last game like
kind of the winner take all. Yeah.
Right. They should have done it with us and UAB. And instead it's us and South Florida. I do think it's funny they have us at FAU the very first game. I'm looking at this. I don't even know that like I was trying to see if we had like a tough stretch. Have they done this before? Where every week is away, home. I don't have we. Is that normal? Did you guys notice this?
No, I'm trying to pull it back up.
So we play every single week is either a home week or an away week. I have not noticed that before. If that's ever been the case, I don't think that that's typically what has happened.
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't even pay attention to that. That's weird.
I mean, we've had a couple of away weeks, but that's strange. I don't know that I saw anybody point that out.
What? Where it's home, away, home, away.
Yeah, like it's alternating every week. It's 2 home games 1 week, 2 away games the next week, 2 home games 1 week, 2 away games. I mean, I don't.
They're also kind of
looking
weird.
at this. What do you think our toughest stretch is?
I
mean, at Temple, at Charlotte is not hard.
At Tulane, South Florida, at Wichita, and then FAU at home.
I guess, yeah.
But this is goofy. Why did you not have? Oh wait, that's away. No, it's home. I just saw it. There was a spot where we had Rice away, and I thought we had UTSA.
Tulane and Rice away.
All right, maybe not. Maybe it's a home game.
That is so strange. I saw some people complaining about only one Saturday home conference game. It's against East Carolina, which is going to be like an 11 a.m. tip. But I mean, that's just it's been like that for years because we play that Thursday, Sunday. Also, just like 2 years ago, we played Temple at home on Super Bowl Sunday,
Ugh.
which I mean, it's going to be like a noon tip off.
11 a.m. tip off. Yeah.
Plenty of time to get back home for the Vikings and Chiefs. Are they? I don't even know whether that's. I don't know who's in the NFC and AFC.
It's going to be.
Is that a possible matchup? What?
NFC matchup, NFC conference matchup between Minnesota and Tampa Bay to go to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Good old Sam Darnold, TJ.
Anyway, I'm going to ask the two of you this. I asked our buddy Jonathan this earlier today.
Uh-oh.
I don't know that I'll give his answer. I don't know if he would want me to share it, but I probably will. If you had no choice but to bet your life savings on either Memphis to win the AAC or Memphis to not, or to take the field to win the AAC this season, you have to bet your life savings on one or the other. What would you do?
Not.
Memphis will win it. Yeah. I feel really good about this team. I just
Jonathan said the same thing.
I have felt the same way 5 times already, and
but this team is different. Can you tell him what you told me last week?
What did I tell you last week?
That this is the type of team that Memphis has been waiting on.
Did I say that?
I've heard this before. I've heard this before.
I'll say this. I have seen more positive things during practices than I've seen in previous teams of Penny's time period.
Look, you're not hyping me up to let me down, okay?
I'm just telling you what I've seen.
You're not.
I don't even know. Is the betting odds out? I'll tell you what the odds are for us to even win.
You're not going to do it. This is where Kenny tries to tell us how Nick Jourdain's about to get hot from 3. He's crushing them left and right at practice. He's going to come out and he's going to.
Kenny, what have you? Give us some tidbits. What have you seen in your? I saw some tidbits I can give. They had the happy hour on.
Yeah, I think that
FanDuel
you're starting.
Doesn't even have the AAC.
I think you're starting. Front court is going to be Dane Danger and Tyreek Smith. And I think Tyreek Smith is going to be dominant for the Tigers this year. I think he's going to be fantastic. Fantastic.
Dominant.
He is.
Give me an average stat line for dominant.
Yeah, what do you mean?
When I say dominant, I mean defensively dominant.
Okay, well then you need to clarify that.
Rebounding dominant. I think Dane is going to be unstoppable in the post. I think he is. I think he's going to be great.
I did rewatch some of his highlights, and I was like, "Damn, I don't know that there's really anybody in the conference that's going to be able to defend him."
Yeah. I think what I've seen that has impressed me is this sounds so small, but it's really not, because I think there's less of this that happens than for college teams than you'd realize.
Why is it not working? I'm about to do it. I'm about to bet $1,000 on us to win the national title at plus 12,000. That would pay $121,000.
You can buy yourself You can buy yourself a Palisade if you win that.
I could buy 3.5 Palisades.
You could get a silver Palisade like me and TJ. This is. I know this is going to sound super lame, and I don't mean for it to. I think this is a big deal because I've seen it in other Tiger teams since Penny's been there. They have practice for a 3-hour time period during the day. And it is very common for the team to be in there practicing They get their practice in and they're gone. There has been numerous times this year that I've been at the facility after practice, and the entire team is still out there doing individual workouts with coaches. The coaches are still out there on the floor individually doing things. They're not running a practice. They're doing individual workouts, and everybody's getting shots up, working on actual basketball in-game moves, like things like that. Those are the things that tell me, and you've heard even Penny talk about it. He said, this team, you don't have to teach them work ethic. You don't have to teach them a passion to play. You don't have to teach them those
These
things.
are the things I was getting you to try to say earlier.
I
and
know.
you're
I
like,
was just
"Why don't
I was busting your balls. But those are the kind of things that when Penny has said that, like, you hear that and you go, is this just coach speak? Is this kind of him trying to pump up his team? You know, that kind of stuff. I've seen it with my own personal eyes that there seems to be this group of guys just are guys that want to just hoop. And if that is the case, then I am very confident in this team, because I think they have talent at pretty much every position that you need to be able to reach the goals you want to reach. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be a second weekend team or a whatever. No, I don't put that. My expectation is I want them to win the conference this year. And based on what I've seen out of them and just every day, just after practice type stuff, I go, these guys are preparing to do it. And I couldn't say that about other teams that Penny has had. So
I just feel like we have been down this road before.
we have, absolutely.
And I think, and maybe I do this every year and just maybe don't verbalize it, but I'm going to have expectations at preseason, and then I'm going to reevaluate upon the new year. Once January rolls around, I'll reevaluate, and I'll kind of move that goalpost.
You might want to wait till like the third week of January, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because something always seems to go wrong right in that time frame, and I don't know what it is. It's something different. It feels like every time.
Yeah.
Something always goes off the rails.
I think that's incredibly fair.
Look at Mr. Beach
24 and 18. Sure. Dude, yeah, this is the way it just drives like that. It just does this. It is what it is. This could be a 24 and 18. This could be I don't want to say a 28 win team. I don't know. It's hard to say these things, right? Without seeing them. And I don't mean just seeing them play Rice or who is the San Francisco, Ohio. Like, that's not going to give me anything. Seeing them play Mizzou, I think that'll help. Don't they play Alabama?
Will those two preseason exhibition games tell you what you need to know? North Carolina, Alabama?
So. No,
Why?
because teams are also changing. Because
I don't think
they're not.
I don't think either way you can take those too high or too low.
We did it every year with CBU. If we blew out CBU, it was like, oh, okay, you're supposed to. If it was even remotely close, we were, oh my God.
Remember when Pastor lost to him?
Yes.
Oh goodness. I don't know.
I don't think.
I mean, I'll have to see it, but I just don't think
course.
those exhibitions, like, I don't think you can take
they
it
mean nothing to me.
too serious.
I agree. And I think that there is a level of hesitancy to say what I'm saying about this team, because you're right. Like, every year there seems to be something that happens, right? Like, something goes down, something that happens. And that's fair. I think there are just a few things this offseason that make me go, man, this just feels different to me. It just does. The fact that they've all been here for an extended period of time. The fact that what I've seen post practice multiple times this year makes me go, man, this just looks different than what it has in the past. Like, dude, there were times where you'd go into the facility and there would be nobody there. Nobody. It was a morgue in there. Nobody was in there. And I just don't understand that as a college athlete, like how you do that. Like, dude, nobody was there. The parking lot was empty, and it's like, I don't get it. But that's not been the case at all this preseason at all.
Yeah.
You know, the last time I looked at the roster, I was like, damn, this roster it's pretty stacked. You got a lot of guys. I feel confident even at your two deep. A complete lineup of your two deep would be a decent team. And that was last year.
Last year, yeah. 100%.
And what a letdown that
No,
team
you're right.
was.
But don't you think
I just-
though that hindsight being what it is, you can look back at that roster and say there were what I feel like one of the things that Penny has done this offseason is target him and Rick before Rick no longer there, obviously. But what him and Rick did was they targeted players that fit Penny's system instead of just going out and getting a bunch of really good players and trying to mold the system around them. Like that to me is, I mean, they did it. Jordan Brown is a perfect example of that.
You think Jordan Brown fits Penny's system?
No,
he's saying didn't.
He didn't.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
didn't.
Sorry. I was misunderstanding. I was like, dude, what?
But Jordan Brown was the Lou Henson Award winner, right? And everybody's like, oh my God, like he's that guy. And so you would look at that roster and say, man, Jordan Brown averaged 18 and 10, 18 and 12. You know, he at Arizona was phenomenal. At Louisiana or wherever he was phenomenal. Like, but it just didn't fit.
Doesn't Dane kind of fit into that same more traditional big, doesn't really fit what Penny's looked for in rim running, brim protector bigs before?
But they also have those guys
Kenneth?
that can do that.
But Kenneth?
They have Musa and Tyreek that can
But
do
Kenneth,
that. What?
You haven't. That's the first time you mentioned Moose's name in 3 months.
No, it's not.
I'm just kidding. I'm giving you a hard time because we were just talking about how good Dane's going to be, and he's.
I think he will be
not a
very good.
typical
I think he will
big
be
that
very
would fit
good.
Penny's
I think he
system.
will be good.
I think he's going to be very good. But they also have those dudes. Tyreek is a perfect example of a big that Penny's system fits. Like it's perfect.
Yeah.
Musa, one of the best shot blockers. I mean, the last time Penny's team was number one in the nation in defense, Musa was the starting five. Like, you know, and he's coming off the bench. Like,
And now he's going to be fifth off the bench. So, I mean, you can't get better than one, but that's a good sign. All right. So TJ would put his life savings on no to win the AAC, and Kenny would put it on yes.
And
I'm
lot
not
of it.
forgetting that 21 year, whatever it was, where we lost to 5 teams in a row we had no business losing to. And I'm exaggerating.
you
there. I
could
don't
say
remember
it
who it was.
every
It was
year we
Murray
lose to
State and
multiple teams we shouldn't lose to.
No, but this was bad. This was the string of
Yeah,
games. It was
Georgia.
the Murray State. Georgia.
SMU.
It was all of that. I've seen this. We've had this conversation before
100%.
too many times.
100%.
And I can't have any faith until I actually see it against good teams consecutively.
But I would say one of the reasons why I would put my life savings on it is because this version, this 24-25 iteration of AAC is donkey. Like they are.
Oh, that means
not
nothing.
Good.
That
It
means
does.
nothing.
It does.
You've lost to donkey UCF teams. You've lost to donkey Tulane team.
Yeah.
You've been swept by bad Tulane teams. I've seen this. This is what I'm telling you.
I understand.
I mean,
that.
you
I'm just
swept,
saying.
bad
you
teams.
swept Houston one year, and you still didn't win the American.
No, I mean, listen, I hear you. I'm just saying there's not a team that is going to Memphis could lose a couple of conference games and still win the conference the conference regular season. There's just not good teams out there. This could be one of those things where every bad team in the AAC beats up on each other and Memphis just somehow wins the tournament, wins the regular season by default.
Yeah.
Because they beat most of the teams and lose the one or two.
Everybody else is so mid that they just all
beat each other.
Yeah, they all go 8-8.
Yeah.
And Memphis could fall right into that.
No.
That would be my concern.
I don't think so.
Oh, 8-8. The fun part of this, though, is that one of you is losing your life savings by the end of the year.
Well, we both just bought probably the same car. And I don't even remember how much we spent. I don't even know if I know how much we spent on the car. Looking back
TJ
on
didn't even sign the documents.
I know I signed him. I just don't remember. My
Um,
life savings are pretty
I'll trade
low
you
right
my
now. This is a
Palisade for
free
your.
bet.
If you win this bet, I'll give you my Palisade.
My wife would kill me. I won't even pay attention to the conversation.
why you're
Jesus.
getting another
Did she
Palisade?
just
heard
hit
me.
you? Did Alyssa just hit you?
She's holding up a knife right now. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do it. It was Kenny's idea.
Dude, your acting skills are incredible.
Terrible.
That was her. She went around the corner. That was her, dude.
Oh, you were in the living room. I thought you were in a
Yeah, I
bedroom
told
this
you.
whole time.
I was, and I lost internet.
Wow.
I'm in the dining room, I guess.
All right. I think we're back to 50-50 TJ.
Oh yeah.
TJ gave you ladies and gents, that BYU, who was a dog last week for some reason, pulled it out by 6 against Baylor. Your boy
Easy money.
Thunder Picks. I don't know what you're at, TJ, but I think you're like
I'm about to look.
3-2. No, what? This is our 6. I think you're 3-3.
I'm about to look. I think
I'm
3-3 sounds
5-1.
right.
I don't know why North Texas was a 6.5 point favorite. They won by 52-20 over Tulsa. I mean, sometimes you just got, when you know American ball, I mean, that's the positives of being in the American. That I just know these teams so damn well that I can bet on them. Because North Texas being a less than a touchdown favorite at home against Tulsa was laughable. It wasn't even ever close at all. So
Yeah.
TJ, give me your 50-50. This is an important bet because it's either going to take you above 500 or it's going to take you below.
Yeah, I am 3-3. I just checked it out. I'm going to go with Clemson minus 14.5 because I think Brock Glenn is going to get the start against
Is he?
Clemson. Yeah, DJ Uyunglele has like broke his finger or whatever. I don't think he's going to
No,
be back.
he was benched before that. Norvell made the choice to bench him before that, he said.
Whatever, dude. It don't matter. They're both garbage. Respectfully,
It's
garbage.
only 14.5.
That's what it said. That's what I saw.
Clemson's going to beat him by 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Brock
I mean,
Glenn
SMU
played,
just beat him by 4 touchdowns.
Yes, and Brock Glenn went 0 for 4 in that game. And going back, he is 19 of 51 last year for 37% completion rating. I have no faith in him. I'm sorry. I just don't. 14.5 seems like a steal. Unless they know something I don't.
I get real joy. I've listened to a few of the post-game shows from Florida State over the last couple of weeks, and it is pure pleasure for me to listen. It is hilarious. Everything is wrong. It is hilarious. Anyway,
I mean, there is a lot wrong down there.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen an article pop up about what is Norvell's buyout and things like that. It's like, come on. I think we're a little premature on that one.
A year removed from an undefeated season.
Yeah.
Goodness
Give the dude a quarterback, and I think this is a different argument. But 14.5, just saw it again.
Yeah, it is. There's a couple that I like. I like Army minus 11 at Tulsa. Tulsa's terrible. Should we just keep riding the destroy Tulsa wave? Tulane minus 14.5 at UAB. I feel like they win that by 3 touchdowns. Or East Carolina minus 9 against Charlotte.
East Carolina's going to beat the boo-boo off them.
I know. That's what I'm like, what is... I might have to go with that East Carolina minus 9. Although if you're feeling frisky, you can throw in Tulane minus 14.5 and Army minus 11 in there.
Which one is more of a sure bet to you? The Tulane beats UAB by more than 2 touchdowns, or Army beats? I think Tulane, right? It's got to be.
Tulane by more than 2 touchdowns. I haven't watched Army this year, so I don't know. I'm just basing that off of scoreboards. But Tulane, I think 15 seems low. I would have had it at like 17.5.
I saw another one I thought was interesting. I think it was Boston College was +3 against Virginia. And Boston
Yeah.
College has looked pretty damn good this year, and I haven't seen
That
anything of
is,
Virginia
yeah.
of
They're
note.
plus 2.5.
So
Plus
seems
114
like
on
one
the
I would
money
take,
line.
but
That's not a bad play there. We'll see we'll see how these unfold. All right, Timothy, let's jump into this Desert Dawn. She wore on me, you know. Finally got rid of that tickle in my throat, that tickly pear.
she did something. I don't know what it was. I'm not sure I liked it. I'm gonna be real honest with you here.
I like sours, but I'll be honest, this one is a little bit too sour.
Yeah, I mean it's not that
I
they're
think it's
all
the lime.
undrinkable. Yeah, they're not undrinkable. I just don't. I would never pick this out of a lineup by any means. I'm pulling up my spreadsheet. Give me 1 second. I would never pick it out of a lineup, ever. I would never go to the bigger store, like the bigger store, the beer store.
I mean, you literally did though. You literally went to the beer store and picked these out.
Let me finish my sentence, you clown. I would never go to the liquor or beer store and say, "Hey, I want 6 of those. Let me do that." I'm only picking this up because I need more breweries in Memphis to can their beers outside of our good friends over at whatchamacallit, because they're canning everything right now. Our boy Natch.
Oh, Hampline.
Hampline, thank you.
I like this can. It makes me feel like I should only drink this out in Arizona, though.
I do like the can. I think it is a great can, actually. It's probably one of my favorite cans we've ever had, if I want to be real honest with you.
Really? I wouldn't have gotten
my
that
color
high.
scheme is thrown off.
I'm going to give it bonus points because there's a little meerkat on here.
Where's our meerkat? Oh, yeah, way over there.
See that? By the Memphis, Tennessee. Also a dillo up there, little armadillo. Can-wise, it's not my favorite. It is a decent can. I like the color scheme. I do feel like I need to be out there in Arizona. But 7 flat on the can.
Yeah, the colors are pretty awesome. Yeah.
See, I went the other way. I love the can. I think the can is dope. Like easily one of my favorite cans.
7 is a good score for a can.
No, it is. It is. I just really like the can. I think that is a really good shot right there. I like all the different colors. I'm gonna go like in the 8s for this probably.
Wow. That is up there.
I think it's a good can. Maybe not too high in the 8s, but like 8.4. It's a good can, dude. A lot of good color schemes. We got yellow, orange, black, green, a different shade of green, purple, purplish, pink, maybe.
Respectable. Beer wise, I finished it. It was good enough. Still feel like it was a little bit too sour. I like a sour, but this was like overpoweringly sour. I think it was the lime that's in there was making it like real tart sour. I didn't hate it. It wouldn't be my first sour to choose. But if it was like, hey, all I've got's Desert Dawn, I wouldn't be like, nah, then never mind. I don't want anything. So I would probably drink it again in the right circumstance. 6.3.
Wow.
Is that way too high?
No, not at all. I mean, I'm trying to look back at previous sours we've done because I immediately tried this and was like a 6 at best. I don't like sours. I don't know what it is. The flavor it puts in my mouth, I do not enjoy. And I gave Blueberry Thrill
built for it.
a 6.1. I'm not. I will openly say I'm not built for this.
You gave what a 6.1?
Blueberry Thrill, the Hampline sour we did that one time.
What did I give it?
7-9.
Yeah. I'm all about that thrill.
Yeah, I just don't care for them. I don't know what it is. It's the sour aspect, of course, but I don't like it. I think I'm going to stick. It's 5-9.
Wow. So we
I would
both
not drink two
we
of these.
both literally just scored this the same as our heights.
I'm taller than 5'9". I'm taller than 5'9". Just correct the record there. Just correcting the record.
He's taller than 5'9" when he wears those TikTok shoes.
Oh,
The TikTok
that was
shoes.
so good. That was literally so good.
If there's shoes out there that will make me 6 foot, I will consider them, but I don't have any shoes.
There
from
are.
TikTok.
There's shoes on TikTok
Some-
that add 3 inches to your height.
3 inches is a lot.
Yeah. It is.
It's a good amount.
It's a good amount.
I'll have to check those out.
I'll send you a link.
We'll post a link in the description. All
Trace
right,
Mom
5'9"
listens to this
and
podcast, guys.
6'3". 2 good scores.
5'9" and 6'3".
Well, for the record, I actually am 6'3". So.
TJ, you're not 5'9" though, are you?
No.
What's your license say?
That's a good question. 5'11", maybe. I am 5'11", you clown. I can't help it. You guys are freakishly tall. I am taller than the average man. Okay, and I tower over the average Asian man. Okay, I just looked up their heights.
Okay. With that, we will catch you guys next week. Come back with a cold beer, stay with hot takes. We out.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports.